Hi everybody, and welcome back. Today we're going to be going over a Marvel Rivals tier list. Now that I've hit Celestial, I figured that maybe it would be time for me to actually share kind of my thoughts and everything on how the meta is looking. I'm a little late to the game. I know larger YouTubers and whatnot have already kind of done it, but I didn't want to be very preemptive because I don't like doing these things because personally, I think that tier lists are not as helpful as people would think they are, but they're good for content, so here we are. I'll be completely honest. We're just going to be doing this. We're going to be doing it as the bulk of the roster. So what I'm going to be saying is not like, I don't think that necessarily Captain America being in a certain tier would be the same thing as another like support character being in a certain tier. Obviously, they fill different niches, and we'll talk about that as we go. But we'll go over it in like as we get to it, you know. Okay, so to start off without like taking too much time, I'm gonna start with Adam Warlock. He's the first one up. We're just gonna go down the row like normal. This character, my duo mains him, so he would know a lot more about this character than I do. But he definitely suffers from the same issue that a lot of the support characters in this game that don't have a defensive ult do. Not having a defensive ult is a really, really big problem. Adam in a 3 support team does great. He's awesome. He's wonderful. The issue is that whenever we talk about like double support, the character can run into like some issues where you will find yourself getting, if they have Invisible Woman and Luna, or like Luna Mantis, Luna Cloak, you see these combos all the time, especially if people like really want to win. So you're gonna see oftentimes people just like kind of throwing or like yelling at you if you're playing Adam. So, but in my personal opinion, I think that Adam is a solid B tier pick. I don't think he's bad. I think he actually provides quite a bit whenever he's on the team. His healing isn't the best, but the Soul Bond is really good. The fact that he can res Star-Lord and Mantis, two really, really good characters, also great. The ultimate, though, team-wide res when you do need it, whenever it is good, is awesome. It's perfect. It's wonderful. It's legendary. It's great. But the issue is, again, the defensive ult and the fact that he cannot heal bot like other healers. He does do really good damage, which is great. Always having damage as a support is a very, very good thing to have. But, again, like, whereas he does a lot of damage, he's not, at the same time, he can kind of get caught with his pants down if, like, the healing doesn't go his way, because he's only got 2 charges of it, right? So that could be a big problem, for sure. Okay, next pick, we're going to talk about Black Panther. This character, so I actually have a different take than a lot of people do on this pick. Or I actually don't know, like, how high elo players feel about it. But I think Black Panther is fine, but I think that he's much weaker than he was last season. Cloak and Dagger getting a big buff is horrible for this character. This character feels like he does no damage a lot of the time now. If you're running triple support especially, he can be a really, really big problem. Triple support ults are kind of make this character obsolete and make him really hard. Namor still being a really, really solid S tier character that can never ever do wrong with playing can also be a bit of an issue for him. His damage overall is just not that great. His survivability is a lot worse. You can't really go for as many hero plays. I think that Black Panther is fine, but I think that he actually has fallen off quite a bit. You'll see even character like players like Necros and whatnot, they're not even playing him anymore for the most part, just because he's just so hard to run. It feels like sometimes you're forcing the pick. So for that reason, I'm also going to stick him in B. I'm going to put him a little bit in front of Adam. I think that he's fine, but he just suffers from another issue of another character that we're going to talk about soon. Before we go any further, I want to preface, I think every character in this game can climb, and I've seen every character in this rank climb other than like Scarlet Witch. I think that's the only character that I have not seen climb, and because of that, we're going to go off the rip and we're going to cover her next. I think this character is horrible. I think Scarlet Witch is only ever good if Namor is banned and you need something to counter dive picks. Scarlet Witch does almost negative damage. She does nothing. I see people talking about like being able to flank with her and run her like as a quote assassin. That it's just not doable. This character has nothing. She needs a buff, a rework, something. Her ultimate's horrible. The only use case that there ever is for it is if you use the Doctor Strange portal with it, and then you're having another issue of you're using 2 pieces of utility on a billion-second cooldowns. So I think that she's definitely, in my opinion, spoiler alert, she's the worst character in the game, and it's not close. Even if I know people hate on Black Widow, she's a whole tier. The Scarlet Witch gets her own tier. She's going to be the only character in D tier, I promise. Next character, funnily enough, is actually Black Widow. This character, I think, is a lot better than people give credit for. I think that she takes a very, very different type of approach. Hawkeye and Hela being nerfed has definitely helped her kind of step up a little bit. She still suffers from the same issue where she can't kill in one shot unless she's Mantis boosted. One tricks will make this character look great, especially in Halo. People that just kind of play her for the sake of playing her will make her look like she's garbage. I think that now that the game is a little bit more solved in terms of like how the character's kits just work, like at a fundamental level, she's a lot better. Do I think she's moving up to like B tier or anything like that? No, but well, she might be the bottom. We'll leave her here on B for now, but she might move down to C depending. But I think she's a lot better than people think she is. I think that she definitely has become a lot better after some of the quality of life adjustments that she's gotten in the last patch, but she's definitely a solid pick overall. Mr. Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, Mr. Bruce Banner, Link from Rhett and Link. Where to put you? This character's hard to judge because he's always banned, right? I think I played maybe 5-6 games, and all the way up to Celestial where he was not banned. But when he is picked, he does pretty good work. He himself as a tank is decent. He's pretty good for disruption. He doesn't do that much damage without being an ultimate form, but he's really, really good at disrupting. He's very tanky. The Gamma Shield is lovely for helping with other dive characters, so Hulk is a really good combo. The ultimate is obviously really good. Exile's such a good ability. I think Hulk overall is a really, really solid tank with really low damage, but whenever you get ult, he can be a juggernaut. He's an actual dynamo. So I think that he's going to be an A. I don't think that he's like as OP. Mostly, the strength in Hulk comes because people are like the buff he gives to Strange and Iron Man is just so huge. But he himself is not a bad tank. I think that he's a lot better than a lot of low elo players give him credit for on his own. And I think that if you are very good at him, he can hang with the best of them for sure. He can look really, really good. Captain America, Mr. Sleeper. I think that this character, after the game has been out a bit, and after the buffs especially, I think that he's a lot more usable. I think he's a lot more fun. And I actually think that this character is way better than people give him credit for now. A good Captain America will run a lobby, and he will do super duper good. He's one of those characters that stats don't necessarily always show what you're doing, but you'll find that this character might have a lot of low damage, but he's going to have a lot of final hits. He's very, very solid. I think that this character is way better than people give him credit for, and he might be the most underrated character in the game other than, like, Black Widow. So I think that he, for sure, deserves a spot at the table, and I actually think that he belongs in B tier as well. I definitely think that I like him a bit better than Adam Warlock, though. I think that this character's fantastic. I think he's wonderful. He's super great. I think as the meta shifts a little bit, if we see a nerf to, like, triple support, I think Captain America and Thor, as a combo, is super strong. Or is it Captain America and Storm? I think it's Storm. I don't know. That buff that they all give each other, Captain America, Storm, and Thor, it's really, really good, especially for Cap. He's super good with it. Makes his shield a lot better. He's able to throw it, and it actually does the throwable whenever you proc it. Really, really great ability. I think you're going to see a lot more of him as the game gets better, and also the new skin is just wonderful. It's peak. Do we even have to talk about this? Cloak and Dagger. Her biggest problem is that she doesn't have a stun, but like that only is a problem when she's fighting certain characters like do I even say this? Magic is a little bit of a tough one for her to like face. I know that she can like fade away, but that's a big piece of utility that's on a pretty long cooldown. And she has the ball. Magic lifts her up out of it. I think it's pretty okay against Spider-Man. She doesn't die as much to Spidey as some of the other supports in the game. But because she doesn't really have to, as long as she can see him coming, she can fade out and then she'll be okay. I think that's a much better thing to have rather than like missing your stun and what have you. So I think that she's good, and like the ultimate and the healing that she doesn't even have to aim, and it's just disgusting. The support that this character gives, the heal bot potential. My humble opinion, I don't know how much of a hot take this is. This character is like anybody that one tricks Cloak and Dagger is probably a little bit higher than they should be in like in terms of rank. I think this character is a very big crutch right now, and I think that she is probably the most unhealthy character in the game in terms of the supports. I think she is leading the charge in terms of like how a character should not function in a team fight. She's really obnoxious. She does way too much. You get so much value out of literally doing nothing. You can play her one-handed. I don't understand it. The buffs were not needed on her for sure. She is 15 seconds of ultimate is disgusting to be on the ground. I don't get it. Frankly, this character is obscene. It's gross. Doctor Strange, he's still, spoiler alert, he's still great. I would say that he and Magneto are kind of ruling. We'll go ahead and drag him up here as well. He and Magneto are like kind of running the tank meta right now. Magneto just frankly because he's able to kill Cloak and Dagger, Luna Snow, Mantis, etc. He's very, very capable of doing so with his ultimate, which is great. Love to see it. But I think that Strange as well, he just provides so much. He has good damage. He has a great ultimate that has a lot of CC. The portal is actually huge. I mean, I can't even... We all know how many times we've won or lost because of a clutch portal at the end of the game. It can be really devastating. It can be a really big problem. I do think, however, in my opinion, that Strange is the example of what a strong S tier character that is not unhealthy for the game looks like. I think that this character, what he does is not blatantly obvious as to how hard he's carrying, but I think he does a really, really good job at everything. Like, he's a jack of all trades, master of all, but he's not, it's not really toxic the way that he's strong. And this is not like a Black Widow, Hawkeye thing, or Black Widow, God, hella Hawkeye situation of last season. So for that, I think that he's up here. He's got it all. He's really, really good. Magneto, I think, while Strange, I think, is better than Magneto, Magneto might be the most valuable character to learn in the game. I think that the fact that he can just negate one of the support ults in the game as long as you're consistent at hitting the ultimate that he has is huge. I think that's a really, really big factor for him. So I think that while Strange is a better pick, he's more valuable to learn just because he can... In those situations where you do need that support ult to not be popped, he can actually just thwart the entire push, the offensive push that the Cloak and Dagger starts. He will get rid of it. And also, unfortunately, he's also the best character to pick if you want to protect your Cloak and Dagger from the other Magneto ult. As annoying as that is, he's really good at doing both. So it's very, very annoying. But I think he's overall really good. He has good damage. Survivability is crazy. And the fact that he can protect other teams or teammates is really, really good. So I think Magneto is definitely an S. Groot! I think this character is really solid. I don't think he's as good as Strange and Magneto, and I would feel a little bit uncomfortable putting him as high. But he's really good. This character suffers from a little bit of an issue of not being able to move very fast. But the fact that he's able to put walls up to kind of make a giant stone wall that you can't really get through is huge. He does good damage. Is a really great ult. Frame 1. That ultimate is disgusting. It's almost unreactable. It's huge. It's great. I think that he is a super duper good combo pick. He's really good to combo with characters like Moon Knight, Black Widow, Spider-Man, Psylocke, Punisher. It's really, really solid. Very, very good. I think that he himself is a very solid tank that whenever characters like Wolverine are banned, can look really impressive. I think he does really, really good. He's very, very good pick into Magneto as well, because you can kind of, since Magneto is so slow, you can kind of wall him off. I think that Groot's a very, very good pick. Hawkeye, this character is still really good. I think that he's definitely really solid. He's definitely fallen from grace a little bit. His passive that he gets for like locking onto a target, getting nerfed, and he having to be closer to them is kind of big for him. But I think this character is still server admin potential. He will run shit if he gets going. He's really, really strong. A good player on Hawkeye will make him look like the best character in the game. He still struggles from like a situation of if you do get on him, other than like the big slash that he has, he can be a little bit of a fish. But I think that he's really solid even still. And I think that he will continue to be this way so long as they don't change much more. And I don't think he needs much more changes. I don't think this character is really on anybody's radar. He's never banned anymore. He's just really solid. Very, 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 very good character. Hella, this character's S. I don't care. The nerfs to her HP were great for dive characters, don't get me wrong. She's definitely more killable now. The ultimate is still really good. Only few characters in the game can actually like break that thing if you're targeting it. She can still pop it. It's kind of like a pseudo support ult. If you pop it and nobody's ready for it, then clear house. You have to just give the land. It's pretty tragic. Still does crazy damage. The stun is still crazy. She still has the bird, which is insane. She's just a really, really good character. This character is like the server admin character. If somebody's doing really good, it will show if they're playing Hella. You can't really peek her if like in a sniper fight if she's just diffing you. It doesn't matter. Very, very good. Very, very solid character. Iron Fist. In my opinion, this is the worst of the dives. I think that Iron Fist is not he's not unplayable, but the problem is like as you go higher, if people just turn around and look at him, he's really, really hard. This character is so obvious with how he wants to approach a fight. It's really, really stupid. Black Panther and Spider-Man, obviously, they come from like out of nowhere, and then they're so fast that you can't keep track of them. Magic is very, very good because she has the portals that give her a lot of iframes, and she can kind of walk behind somebody, like hit them a lot, and then run away with one of her 3 movement abilities. Iron Fist has movement, but it's very linear, if that makes sense. Like, he's very much in a straight line for the most part, and you have to burn a really big cooldown if you want to get out really quickly, which is the kick, and a lot of times you don't really want to use that and, well, be stuck. So it's kind of a hard situation. The shielding is good. The ultimate is pretty decent. He's very, very good at solo killing characters, but the issue is, like, if he gets stunned, if he gets slept, you know, if people look at him, like a Thor looks at him, he's just a fish. He can't really do anything like that. His damage is not as bursty as a lot of people want to say it is. If the kick is really, really good for damage, but overall he's more of a basic attack character that needs a lot of factors to go right to get a whole bunch of value. For that, I think that he's actually below Black Widow. I think that she's a little bit better than he is right now. Who was it? There was a streamer. Oh, it was Necros. He said this character is at his best whenever people have their computer monitor turned off, which is kind of true. Iron Man. He's really good. I think that he's very, very solid still. I think with the banner buff, he's definitely up here. I don't feel comfortable putting him in S, though, just because he's super reliant on Bruce Banner not being banned. But whenever he's not banned, this character looks disgusting. He's easy. He doesn't take any skill. You just sit there in the air and you just pelt people. Positioning on him is a lot easier than people give him credit for. He's very fast in the air because he can fly. With his super boost, his damage is obscene. Even without the banner buff, the laser cannon thing is still pretty good on squishies. So overall, I think that he's definitely a very solid pick. Jeffrey, do I need to say more? I'm just playing. This character's okay. I think that Jeff is good. In triple support, Jeff looks really good because he can actually just do what he is intended. His kit is very much a DPS kit, so whenever he's able to play his way, and he's able to sustain himself off his bubbles, and he can play like a flanker, this character is actually disgusting, and he does really, really well. There's a player right now, his name's the Red Queen. He quite literally only does DPS on Jeff, and he only heals if he's with his team in that given moment. But a lot of the time, this character really wants to flank. He has a lot of really good mobility options. The self-healing is disgusting on this character. His damage is pretty good with Luna. His ultimate is good in triple support because you can actually use it to just take support out of spawn, throw them off the map, or hold them and make them late to a fight. Overall, just a really, really decent ultimate. I don't think that he's, like, that insane. I don't think he's a throw pick like people say he is. In triple support, he's pretty decent. In double support, he doesn't really want to play the game how everyone is playing him. He's much more of a flank-oriented support character, which is kind of tough. I wish they would kind of rework him, maybe make him a DPS and change his kit around a little bit. Because, unfortunately, the realization is that whenever triple support does get nerfed, we're just probably going to go back to the double support meta, where it's like 2 support ults like Cloak and Dagger and Mantis and Luna Snow or something, and then his value is actually going to depreciate because it's going to be harder for you to play him after the nerf, because he, again, doesn't really want to be played as the secondary support. He wants to be the third support that you don't really have to worry about that much. So I'm going to leave him here for sure. Loki. I think that this character is really solid. I think that Loki himself is a very, very good pick. I think that he himself gets a lot of value because he can quite literally copy Cloak and Dagger, who's the best support ult in the game. His kit is really, really good. His clones are really nice. The lamp is busted. It's super good. Overall, really good character. Very, very solid pick. Luna Snow, need I say more? This character is disgusting as well. The ultimate is crazy. She can damage boost. The exploit right now where you can damage boost and heal at the same time is huge. The freeze is great. Her damage is great. She's a hit scan. Her healing is good. The amp that she gives herself, the clap, is really, really solid. She does a lot of damage. This character is just insane. I don't think anybody has to talk about her anymore. Magic! My pride and joy, my love. This character, where do I put her without, like, seeming biased? I think that this character is really good. I think that a lot of people underrate her a lot. I think that there's a lot of people that say that this character is just way worse than she actually is. I don't know why this has started to happen, where people are... I think that she just might be too hard for some people. I think that this character is really good. I think that the buff that she got for Darkchild was maybe a little bit on the shallow side compared to some of the other stuff, but overall, she still is pretty good if you're able to get the stack. She's got pretty good survivability. She has 3 dashes. If you play her correctly, she's going to look really, really disgusting and toxic. I think that personally this character belongs up in A. I think that she's a very, very good pick. I think that she's pretty good into a lot of comps, but she can get shut down a lot by characters like Namor, and she has a hard time still with triple support ults. But she's a very good option, especially if you're just wanting to one-shot and take a character like Invisible Woman out of the fight. She's very, very good at doing that, and she's very, very nice at helping, like, in a 1v1 situation. She's probably one of the top 5 characters in the game for isolating 1v1s. So for that, I'm going to put Magic in A. I think that she's definitely a very, very good pick. Miss Mantis. This character is also really, really strong. I think that she lost a little bit of value after the Cloak and Dagger buff, just because she's not as necessary on a team. But spoiler alert, these characters with defensive ults just have to be an S tier because they're just that disgustingly strong. They interchangeably can go on a team and be fine. You could literally play any of these characters, with Invisible Woman probably being the weakest of the 4, but she's still really good. Mantis is a character that is really, really good. Her stats are not always going to show how good she is. She does really good damage. Chaining the headshots gives her leaves back, just really good. The damage buff is crazy disgusting on certain champs, like Black Widow. Can actually make her one-shot. She is super good. She has a really, really good time with her sleep. The ultimate is obviously, as we said, really good. She's super fast. Super solid character. Very, very solid. Invisible Woman. This character works at her best when she has 3 support. She needs the peel from another support because she doesn't have a stun. The push and pull is really, really nice. But also, a big thing that a lot of people are not using yet that I think is huge is that she's the first actual counter that we have to characters like Wolverine. If you push or pull him out of the animation while he's in the air with the tank or whoever, it will actually stop and drop the character. They will drop out of the sky. They will not go much further than that. Which is great. If you hold it for reactionary plays like that, she can be really good. The ultimate is disgusting. I don't think we have to talk about it anymore. The slow that it gives is huge. The fact that you cannot see inside of it unless you're inside of it as the enemy team is disgusting. The healing is great. She can go invisible, can hide herself pretty well from Magneto if she has the double jump after casting the ultimate. See a lot of Invisible Woman players drop ult and run away really far so they don't die, and then come back at the end of the ultimate after the Magneto ult is dropped. Overall, very, very good character. And Vexvi, thanks so much for the follow on Twitch. By the way, while we're on the topic, if you guys haven't already and you appreciate the content, like and subscribe and go follow the Twitch. Anyway, Moon Knight. Apparently they fixed this character. I don't know. I haven't played since I hit Celestial, I'm not gonna lie. This character is really solid. Is a very good character that suffers from the issue of he is like maybe the single worst character to try and 1v1 a character with. Moon Knight actually loses the 1v1 to shit like Jeff the Landshark and Mantis. He just doesn't do that well. That's not what he's made for. His ultimate is great. Obviously, his ultimate is great. He pairs so well with characters like Groot. Do I think this character is a little bit overrated? Yeah, I do. I think that the ultimate is still really disgusting, but I think the rest of his kit is just fair and decent. Again, like, if people are, like, targeting him and diving him over and over and over again, that he just can't play the video game. It's just not possible for him. He's got okay mobility, but it's just not enough. He's really easy to follow. So, for that, I think that he's A, but I definitely think that he deserves to be a bit higher up than, like, Hulk and Loki. Namor! This character's an S. This character's actually crazy good. Namor with Luna Snow buff looks different. He's just different. The extra squid is alone really good. But having the squid slow people and be, I think it's a little tankier as well, is crazy. His damage is good. His ultimate's good. The fact that you cannot use a movement ability in is crazy. Pairs so good with Groot. Can pretty much one-shot. With the rocket buff, can kill people through support ult. It's disgusting, dude. I'm lost for words on how good this character is. Namor, since the game came out, has been nothing but gone up in positioning just because hasn't been touched. They haven't nerfed him in any way, as far as I know. So he's just had nothing but good things happen to him. And for that, he's just become better. He's just really good. He's good against Spider-Man, shuts him down completely. If Spider-Man's on the other team, he cannot play the game against Namor because his turrets will aimbot him out of the sky. He's good against Black Panther. He's good against Magic. This character is just really solid. I say more? He can shut down a dive comp really easy. He does struggle against things like Venom because he just has too much HP, so the turrets don't kill him fast enough. But I mean, other than that, I don't see an issue other than like poke is the biggest way that you can beat him because you can just break his squids. But then like he would just swap. Even then, he still gets so much value because of how much damage he's just dumping out. Can put the squids on a flank if he needs to. Can throw the squids behind the enemy backline to just cause them to look away from them. Just a really, really good character. Penny. I I don't see good pennies ever. I actually have had like 2 one-tricks on my team and they didn't really do anything for like majority of the game. I think I've only ever seen 1 penny and I caught his stream like barely because it was a raid. And he was pretty good at her and he made her look pretty decent. But overall, I don't think that she's that good once her well is broken. I think that the stun is great, but I don't really know where else that I would run her other than like anti-dive. And even then, I don't think that she's unbeatable with anti-dive. I think once her well is gone, she's kind of just a fish and she's something to build ult charge off of. So, and I think that her ult, in my opinion, every time I've ever seen a penny ult, it's just been like it's a 5v6 and now the penny is not really doing that much. So I personally think that Penny belongs down here in B. I think she's a little bit worse than Captain America, who's also a tank. I just don't think that she does enough, and I think that maybe a little bit of a tweak to her kit would be good. Psylocke is an S. This character is disgustingly good. High damage, often gets ult. The ultimate is low-key the worst part about her kit, but it's really good for securing kills on supports. If you just dive the backline and like, I'm ulting their backline, I'm going to kill one of their supports. You either, at worst, they pop ult, and then they use the support ult, or at best you get a kill, or 2. So I think that she's really good. The rest of her kit is super solid, and I think that she herself is probably one of the best hard carry champs in the game. If you lock in Psylocke and you're really good at her, it will look like a domination. There's not really a whole lot you can do if somebody is just gapping the other DPS players as Psylocke. She's one of the few DPS picks that want to quote-quote dive that don't get hard countered by Namor every time. Her ultimate makes her unkillable while she's inside of it. She has great movement. The stealth is disgusting. Just an overall really, really good pick. The Punisher. After the buffs, this character's starting to look a little solid. He's looking a little greasy. Punisher's really, really good at killing Groot walls. He's really good at shredding shields. Probably the best tank killer in the game. This character is actually gross. He does... Oh, best tank killer other than Wolverine, obviously. Haha. I'm not going to let you trap me on that. But I think that the Punisher is a terrific pick and can fit on a lot of team comps, pretty much anyone. A good Punisher player that is not ziplining behind the team and popping ultimate and dying immediately will look crazy. The kit that he has got, the mobility, the amount of damage that he can dump with the shotgun and his AR is crazy. His ultimate is obviously really, really good at forcing support ults, and if they don't have a support ult, good luck peeking it, right? It's pretty much a walking, turret. So he's very, very good. I think A tier is definitely a very good place for him to land in, for sure. Rocket. This is a underrated character, in my opinion. I think Rocket on triple support operates very, very well. Rocket always looks like his damage stat is going to be bad, but believe it or not, he actually has one of the highest DPS stats in the game for like DPSing a tank. He's very good at killing a tank that walks into backline. Rocket's a very, very high survivability character. His ultimate is decent for being a third support ult. He can look really, really good, and I think that overall he's just underrated and undervalued. His res is obviously really, really good. The infinite ammo he gives to Winter Soldier and Punisher is huge. It does so much work. You can see a Bucky get an ultimate in like 2 seconds. It's crazy. Overall, he looks pretty good. After the buffs, his healing is much better, and I think that this character belongs in A. I think that he's pretty good. Spidey. Hot take, I think that this character is way worse than people think. I think that Spider-Man is decent enough, but I don't think that he has more value than characters like Black Panther. With the Venom buff, I do think that he's a lot better, but right now in the current meta, you're hard-pressed to find Venom players that only want to play Venom for you, right? If you have a duo that only plays Venom and you know he's going to be good at it, this character is actually pretty decent. But beyond that, I don't really know. This character, Cloak and Dagger is a pretty obnoxious thing for him. Triple support kind of makes him feel really bad. I think the largest issue currently is that Spider-Man has a really big problem getting a finish without just like straight up dying. So he can engage solo and do a decent amount of damage without the venom buff, but after the uppercut, you're kind of left without a lot of stuff if you don't want to like overstay your welcome and die. In high elo games, especially, you'll see this character dive and then he'll knock someone in the air and then he kind of just has to dash out because if the team looks at him, he has such low HP that he's kind of a fish. So has really good mobility, but especially for how hard he is to pilot, I just don't see this character as being as good as people think that he is. There was a minute there where we were like, oh, well, when somebody really good steps onto the scene and plays Spider-Man, he's going to look like an S tier. Well, we have that now, and it's Necros. And I don't even know if he would consider Spider-Man being that OP of a character right now in this meta. This might be the hottest take that I have on this list, to be honest, but I think that Spidey is just not as good as people think that he is. He's better than Black Widow. I'm sorry. He's definitely better than Adam Warlock as well. I just don't think that in relation to like other DPS characters, he's doing as much as people think. Squirrel Girl. This is the sleeper pick of the season for sure. This character is gross, man. This character is so just blatantly disgusting. High damage, high, the stun, the double root is gross. Her ultimate is so good this season. Her team up with Spider-Man is so solid. Dude, this character's S. I don't care. This character's so good. Squirrel is so good. She's a little harder, and a lot of people aren't playing her yet. But, dude, she just gives so much value. Breaking through shields, Groot walls, I just can't. Her movement's decent. She has a really two incredible chances to root you. She's just good, man. Star-Lord. This character's also gross. Star-Lord is pretty good. His movement is crazy. He's pretty good at doing a lot of damage. He's able to pop the ultimate, force support ults, or just outright kill people if they don't pop an ult for it. He can get back to a fight really quick. He is a big pain in your ass. He's just such a nuisance. And for that, I think that this character is incredible. I think he's super solid. I think that he is definitely one of the characters that you're going to see a lot more of start popping up. Already, I'm seeing way more Star-Lord players this season than I did last season, and for that, I think that he's terrific. Storm. Ooh, goddamn, this character's so overtuned right now. This character's disgusting. She is like, I don't know what they were thinking. She's better now than she was in the beta, in all honesty. And she was strong as hell. She was damn strong. This character builds ult like no other. Other than like Moon Knight, obviously, but she's gross. She actually can get 2 ults in a fight if she's doing enough damage. If she has good positioning, she is so hard to kill. It's not even funny. She pairs super well with characters like Invisible Woman. The ultimate is disgusting, able to just force support ults at like the drop of a hat and be fine. She gets so much HP while she's in it. I don't know. She's just strong, man. This character, just so much damage. She's able to live forever, it feels like, if she's good. Just a really solid character. Mr. Thor. This character is a lot better than people give him credit for, and he's not seen as much as I think that he needs to be. This character, when we see some shakeup in the meta, I think Thor is kind of the boogeyman in the closet that we're going to be seeing. I think this character's kit is phenomenal. I think the ultimate is the worst part about him, and even then, it has its uses, for sure. I think that Thor is way better than people think that he is, and I think that overall we will see better Thor players pop up, and then after they happen, you're gonna wish that we went back to Strange Magneto meta, because this shit is really strong. He's just a Goliath in the backline. If he dives a backline, he can stop a dive character. If he catches you lacking and pushes you into the team, you're dead. His team up with Storm and Captain America is huge. It's so good for them. I think that he's just a really, really good pick. Venom, after the buffs, by the way, Sayu, thank you so much for the follow. After the buffs, I think that this character's solid. I think that he's pretty decent. I think that he is much better. If you asked me last season my opinion on Venom, I would have said he's B. I think that he's A. I think that he's really, really solid. I think you can play him now and actually see value. His team up with Spider-Man makes him instant value if you have a Spider-Man one-trick on your team. I can't say enough how much... He's also really fun. This is probably one of the most fun tanks in the game just because he's so goofy. You just run around the map, swing around. If it's like Spider-Man with training wheels, he's great. Winter. I'm biased here, honestly. This character feels really good. I think that he's super solid, and I think that he's an A. I don't think he's an S yet. I think that after the buffs, he's definitely way better, obviously. But the bias in me wants to put him in S, but I'm not going to. I After playing characters like Star-Lord, I actually don't have as much issue with this character as I do with Magic. Magic kind of just gets hard countered by him. He's really, really good at killing tanks, though, picking them up and then just kind of putting them in his back pocket. The ultimate is obviously really good. If you're playing around it and you know when to pop it, it can look so disgusting. Bucky might be the best character, best at looking like he's the best for like certain given moments in the team, like in a team fight, but I think that his low mobility kind of sets him apart a little bit. I think that the fact that he is not able to pop the ultimate reliably without dying to really good teams, if you're playing solo, it can be pretty hard. Sometimes you can't even really get an angle to pop the ultimate without just like blatantly forcing it. And even then, as we said, when you do that, you're putting yourself in a really tough situation, because if you land it and then you get focused down really hard, you'll die. I see more ultimates of Bucky trying to use the big armed and dangerous in high elo and just dying than I do actually using it and getting like 3-mans, right? So overall, I think that he's really solid. He's really good. Do not let that like take away from the character. But I don't think that he's as good as people in low elo might think he is. Wolverine. Wow. Okay. This character is diabolical. There's a reason why he's banned in literally every game I played. I played against one Wolverine since I hit Diamond, and he was bad. But this character is crazy. And I, honestly, I'm gonna glaze a little bit. I was one of the first people that whenever this game came out, I said that Wolverine's kit cannot be bad for killing tanks. And on that video, I had way more backlash than any other video on my channel, where people were saying that I was wrong. Wolverine sucks. This character has no value. Even before the buffs, this character at the end of the last season was destroying ranked, and he was in every game unless he was banned. This character is gross. After the buffs, he's even grosser. And I think that he needs to change, because right now the only counter to him in the game in any capacity, yeah, I guess you could say Magneto Bubble. That's a long cooldown though. Is Invisible Woman Pull. That shit is gross. It's so strong. It's so good against him. But other than that, can 100-0 tank in no time flat, repositions the tank to be behind your team. He has the damage mitigation, which is really good. He has the ultimate, which is really good. You know, this character is just super strong, and definitely it's hilarious how he went from being everyone's opinionated bottom tier to being the probable, other than Storm, best damage character in the game. It's crazy. And now the elephant in the room, Mr. Fantastic. God, where do I put him? He's got some stuff going for him. When he's in fat form, this character feels really good. He feels like a juggernaut. He can do a lot of damage. He can be pretty decent. But the animation to go into it is so slow. I've seen so many Fantastics, myself included, where you'll get it, and because it animation locks you for half a second, you can actually get killed in that little window. In the ultimate, man, I don't know. At max stacks, I believe that the ultimate value of damage is 150 per bounce. That's like, is it 150? I thought is it 100? It might be. Regardless, unless you're in a small room with a roof over your head, this character just doesn't do damage with his ultimate. It's honestly, if you pop the Mr. Fantastical, you're maybe just better off not using it, because it feels like a 5v6 after it's out. I don't know. I think that he's okay. I think he's just fine, and I don't think that he's much better than that. And for that, I think that he's like a B tier. I think that he's down here. At the start of the season, I was like, you know what? I think this character's probably going to be a lot better than we think. I just can't see it. I think that he's pretty good at being an off tank, and if he's a good alternative to being a tank. But I don't think that with what he's giving, other than like some bonus shielding, for how little damage he does as a DPS character, you can get more value elsewhere, right? You just play another tank, just play another DPS. The bonus shielding is nice on other teammates, but I mean, like, are we really picking Mr. Fantastic for a little bit extra bonus HP? I don't know. Overall, I think that he's decent. But let me know what you guys think down below. I had fun making this, and I hope that you guys had fun watching it, so I greatly appreciate it. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. See you later. Bye.